Yes, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson, Ronaldo. We are back from the States. Yeah, this TV's on. Can we put this TV on?
That's what tripped me out. I was like,
yeah, we're going to be doing our Premier League predictions, sort of cover up, but give a bit of an update.
No, we won't do full 20 to 1 though. We'll do like.
You just turn that one off up there.
Because I think that'll be a little bit too long.
So we're going to do like top 6, bottom 3.
I think we'll go top 6. We'll do bottom 3.
Okay.
Just so it's not as long, but it might be a little bit controversial because I have no idea what Steve's going to pick. I have no idea what Steve's going to choose, but I think it's going to be a little bit tight at the top and the bottom.
Jake, you just make the chat a little bit bigger, please. Can't quite read it.
So where do you want to start off then?
Hit the control and plus. Don't just drag the box. Control plus. Oh my God. Where should we start? Bottom 3. Get us in the comments. What's your top 6 and what's your bottom 3?
I think people should let us know. But if I'm thinking bottom 3,
but no, we're not starting it. We got to talk about what business has been done first, I think.
All right. So business has been done. I did find out business that every single team has done in terms of what they've brought in.
Yeah.
So if you scroll down, Jaded on the. I don't know if you've got it.
I've got it here as well.
If you've got it down there, you can go to. Because I'll tell you my bottom 3 first. Then when we look at the business that they've done.
Okay.
So I think the bottom 3 will be Luton.
Okay. Sound a lot of players.
Sheffield United.
Sound a lot of guff, by the way.
Sheffield United and Burnley.
Right.
Will be my bottom 3.
That was the 3 promoted.
That's the 3 promoted. That never happens. That never happens. But I feel like this is the first time where it will happen. Sheffield United haven't been able to spend that much money. I know Luton have signed a lot of players.
Yeah, I don't think they've signed anyone any good.
But I don't think they've signed anyone of real quality. I look at their side and I see a championship side.
Who skin of the teeth did last year?
Yeah, Everton.
I'm going to pull up last year's table.
Everton, Forest.
Can I get last year's table on the screen?
I think Everton and Forest were the ones that kind of scraped it.
Yeah, Forest was a ropey one.
But I think Forest will be better this season than they were last season. As for Everton will be better as well, I believe. So I just think
Everton are in the running for Maguire, aren't they?
Yeah, apparently so. But I generally feel like it's going to be the bottom, the newly promoted sides that are going to go down.
Never.
Especially Burnley, because Burnley completely bossed the championship last season, and I think the team that always flies high and bosses the championship are always the ones that go down.
They come with a certain style of play where they was able to bully boy the
and
league
dictate
a
possession.
They won't be able to do that in the Prem. All right, so last year the ones that scraped it: Everton, Forest, Bournemouth.
Can you get the chat down, please?
People saying Forest, Wolves. Wolves could be one that gets dragged in it. I know they ended up finishing like pretty safe 13th, but they weren't that safe, you know.
I think Wolves could be one to watch, actually. But in my opinion, I do think it's going to be the promoted teams. People are saying Burnley will stay up for sure, but we played Burnley last season with a few injuries, and they were flying at the time. I remember them coming to Old Trafford trying to play football, and they were so bad. We beat them, and we beat them comfortably. And I looked at them and I thought, they have all the makings of a side where they're able to kind of bully boy it, dictate possession, get all the ball, not really much threat in the championship, the same way Norwich sometimes do, almost being like the championship Barcelona. And then when they come to the Premier League where teams are better and they can hurt them more.
Well, the thing is, they're capable in the championship of dominating the ball, and they're not capable in the Premier League of dominating the ball. So does Company see? Because here's what the thing is, right? If they get a good run, they can quite often, in the first 15 games, almost get like at least half the points they need to stay up in the first 15 games, or if not more than enough to keep them up. And then they don't really have to change their style of play. The problem is if they set their stall out and they go, hey, this is what made us good last year, this is what's going to make us good this year, and this is how we're going to play. And then they get fucking 6-0 off City straight off the bat, because City are capable of doing that to a promoted side. And then they go, oh shit, and then they mix up their entire shit and then decide to play off the back foot, try and play counter-attack, and that's not what got them to the Premier League. No, they got to the Premier League with plan A, And then if they come, their squad is set up to play Plan A. They were good playing Plan A last year, and then you're like, if you shit it then as a manager and try and play Plan B. So has any of them in the summer gone, actually?
And that's the thing. I think if they do try and adjust, that's when they get caught out. The teams are always...
No, if you go into pre-season knowing that you're going to switch it a bit, that's one thing.
I don't know. I think
companies thinking he's going to play the same way.
He probably will. I think when teams come up, the ones that usually do better are the likes of the Foresters, the Sheffield United when they last came up, Brentford when they come up. The ones that are a little bit more, their style's almost more pragmatic, or it's a little bit more...
Brentford was quite direct.
Yeah, direct. That kind of football where it's almost they play percentages rather than teams like Norwich, etc., that come up and they try and play the fancy football. And it's fancy football they still play.
Barcelona. Yeah. Second flight Barcelona.
And then as soon as they come up, that style of play doesn't work because the quality levels are that much different. So that's why I think it could very much... People might argue Forest might, but I think Sheffield United, Luton...
Nah, I think Sheffield United
Burnley.
stay up. I think Sheffield United stay up. I think Burnley... I think is a good shout. I think Luton is a good shout. So who's the other one? Show me that table again. I think Everton will be fine. They'll spend money. Bournemouth. I'm going to say Bournemouth. Bournemouth.
Nah, I don't think Bournemouth. Bournemouth spent like 50 million in January.
Yeah, don't mean shit.
Do you know
Bournemouth. What I mean? Didn't they lose like the last 5 or something? Last 4?
A lot of people saying that if they can see Crystal Palace doing it. Crystal Palace lost quite a few players, to be fair.
That's true.
I know they've got Elise injured until October, but they might be selling them anyway. Obviously,
Palace isn't a bad shout.
They've lost Zaha, who's their talisman.
I think Luton's I'm going to say Burnley as well because I think their style of play won't be able to be in, and they'll have to change the way they play.
Okay.
And I think that'll fuck them up. And then, Palace or Bournemouth. Palace or Bournemouth's good shouts,
You got to pick one.
Right.
Can't fence it.
Bournemouth.
Right,
Bournemouth, Burnley, Luton.
That's not
Bournemouth, Burnley, Luton.
That's not a bad prediction. You think Sheffield United just above it?
Yeah, they're not going to be top 10. They might not even be top 15. But I think they're a weird one, I think they just stay up. Just.
All right, so that means you don't think any of the new promoted sides are going to do that thing where they come in and they finish top 10, etc., and they kind of blow everyone away?
Burnley could, surprise a few people. If they get a nice run of fixtures, they could surprise a few people by beating teams that you're like, that was a bit weird, didn't think they'd do that, and playing their way. But then they'll meet City or Arsenal or us, get rodded, and then fix up their shit. Like if they get like a back-to-back 4-0, 5-0, something like that, and people are like, fucking hell, what are you going to do? Then they might switch up their shit and change it.
I don't know. I'm very confident that we could see the first time where it will be the newly promoted sides all get relegated at the same time.
It's going to happen one day, isn't it?
It's going to happen one day, and I think this could be the time. I just think...
See, Southampton teetered for so many years, didn't they?
You know what it is? I think the Premier League has gone to a way, especially with the money involved and the TV money involved. I think a lot of the teams that are mid-level have the ability to kind of strengthen their squad in the summer more in the past.
Spurs, Brentford.
Which makes it more difficult for the teams that newly come up.
Yeah.
Because, for example, you're saying Everton are going to spend, Forest will be able to spend, Bournemouth are going to be able to spend, even Wolves.
West Ham, they're not going to be that far down.
Yeah, Wolves are going to be able to spend.
They're Europa League next year, aren't they?
Yeah, so I think they can kick on a little bit more, these middle of the road Premier League sides, where they don't drop into the kind of the level of the newly promoted sides as much.
I think the ones that are current Premier League teams that I expect to struggle the most, Bournemouth and Palace, obviously, because I think they could be interchangeable to go down. But I think Wolves could be as well.
Wolves losing Ruben Neves. Is big. And you don't know who else they'll lose as well. But I think that's basically what's their captain and talisman, and he's gone now, and that's going to obviously
Someone give me a wild shout.
They've lost Jimenez as well.
Someone sitting there going, Fulham are down, don't know what you lot are seeing. Or what about Brentford? Is Tony banned now?
Yeah, I believe so.
So is that?
I think it could be, but I think Brentford have got more than enough.
And is someone sitting there going, as soon as Caicedo and McAllister are out of Brighton, they're back down? Is someone thinking that? Let me know if you've got a wild shout. Give us your wild shout.
I think a wild shout. If you was gonna say like a bit of a wild card outsider to go down, I'd probably say. You've said Palace, but I'd say Palace. Palace or Fulham could be wild cards to go down.
Fulham's a long way to go down from where they finished. Was they top 10? 10th?
I think they massively overachieved though last season, Fulham. Yeah. And Mitrovic.
Are they losing Mitrovic?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be bad.
Yeah, so I think Willian was like one of their star players and he's about 40 now. I don't know. Is Dan James going to make sure they stay up?
Dan James, if anything's just like preparing to be back in the Championship, I think. Yeah. All right, so that's who's done that. Okay, let's look at the top 6. Let's go. Who finished 6th last year? Brighton. Let's see what Brighton did in terms of the transfer market. So Brighton haven't yet lost Caicedo, but they have lost McAllister. We're expecting Caicedo to go. Who else is going?
No, I don't think they're losing anyone else. But the only other person that they'd possibly lose, which won't be this summer, is Evan Ferguson.
Yeah, I think he's got just done a new deal, hasn't it?
Which they've kept, and it looks by all accounts that Caicedo has a pretty good chance of staying as well.
João Pedro, 30 million, Watford. That's a bit spendy. James Milner on a free. He ain't really got much to offer that much no more. It'd be a good person to have in the dressing room, like Dahoud, yeah, on a free from Dortmund.
Dahoud's a decent signing. He's a very, very much a Brighton player.
Verbruggen is not a bad shout, and Igor, yeah, is all right from Fiorentina. So
yeah, I think Brighton
could be some good astute signings in that.
I don't think they'll finish 6th though next season.
No, top 10.
I think they're top 10. I think Brighton will drop 8th, a little 9th, bit. 10th. I think they'll be 8th, 9th ish. I think, for example, you see Villa 7th. I think Villa will be a top 6 side next season. I think Villa's squad is strong and has a lot of quality in it anyway. I think they pretty much showed their potential towards the end of the last season when under Unai Emery, when they were shy under Gerrard. And they've actually made a couple of decent signings in the summer as well. I know Tielemans has come in there as well, which will strengthen their midfield. And midfield that's pretty good anyway, with the likes of Douglas Luiz, McGinn, Jacob Ramsey.
Let's talk about Chelsea's ins. So Nkunku, 52 mil. That was one that was pre-arranged in January, wasn't it? Nicholas Jackson, 31 mil. Maria on a free. Didn't know they knew how to do free transfers. Matos also on a free. Angelo for 13 million on a 30 million. Ugo Chokwu for 23 million. They just signed a keeper from Brighton as well.
Robert Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez.
It's not confirmed.
So I mean, and also Diaby as well.
But you also have to. One of the other pre-signings they made that's been really good in the summer has been that Malo Gusto.
Yeah,
Chelsea fans are raving about how he's played in the summer, but he's
one that we clocked about a year ago, wasn't he? He was like, fucking hell, he can play.
I think he played against West Ham last season early, and he might have been the season before, and he was insane against him, and he's young, and he had potential. People think that obviously with Reece James and his injury issues, Gusto's going to have a major part to play for Chelsea at right back.
I like Gusto. I think he's a good player.
But
do we see them getting back in the top 6?
Yeah, they'll definitely be in the top 6, Chelsea. I know Chelsea have a strong pre-season. How much stock do you put into that? I don't know. Because you could reverse that and say United's pre-season has been slightly underwhelming. So
yeah, let's have a look at it. Top 4 for me, City, United, Arsenal, maybe, possibly Chelsea, but they can surprise a few people. I wish United could win the Premier League too. I think we all do, mate. All right.
Yeah, but that's it. Brighton and Villa have Europa League to contend with, though.
Yeah, he's going to take them down a little bit, and as did Liverpool. Liverpool, let's have a look what they've officially signed so far. So I know there's talk of them signing Levia, but at the moment it's McAllister and Soblazai.
Do you know what? They've lost Fabinho, obviously lost Henderson, they've lost Milner, they've lost a lot of experience on the side.
And we saw what happened when United lost like Evra, Vidic and Rio all in one go.
And they've gone ultra young. I don't know. I think going into the summer with some of the players that were linked to that they actually haven't ended up signing, the likes of Thuram as a CDM, etc. I thought Liverpool would be a secret dark horse next season in terms of being top 4 or maybe even challenging, because I thought they wouldn't. I think didn't they end the season on a bit of a mad run?
Yeah, they ended the season real strong and came 5th and not that far behind us and Newcastle. 4 points off us and Newcastle in the grand scheme of things, which they had no right to do with the middle of the season that they had.
Yeah. So I don't think they'd struggle as much as they did last season. Right. And I think it'd be a lot better.
Let's pattern out the top 6. City winning it, right?
That's to say, but I think City will win again.
Yeah, I think City are doing 4 on a bounce, right? And as much as I'd love to sit here and say, look, I think United are capable. I just don't think they've got the experience of pushing like this just yet.
Yeah.
I think we are capable of going on runs. I think we've shown that under Ten Hag, and we've shown that a little bit under Ole actually as well. We've addressed some of the issues, but you've still got settling in to happen. I can see us beating anybody on our day, but can I see us beating a top team in the Champions League on a Wednesday and then going to the Etihad and putting them on the back foot and then managing to do something in the FA Cup the following week and then picking up points away from home against a top 10 side in the league consistently? That's really fucking hard to do. On any given day, I back United. And I actually think if we could roll back the FA Cup final in a couple of months, as long as we get like the likes of Amrabat in and obviously Højlund through the door, I'd be more confident. I'd be more confident with Martinez in the team as well. And Onana in the team. I think we play out better and we don't get caught in the same traps that we got caught in the FA Cup final. It'd be closer. I don't think we go there and put it on them 4-0, but I think it'd be closer and I'd back us to do it. But obviously it doesn't work like that, and you've got to play your cards. You've got to play your cards with suspensions. You've got to play with your injuries. You've got to play with mad trips to Europe in the middle of the week and then a big game at 12 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. You have to deal with all of that sort of stuff, and that's what the size of the squad and the experience City have got, United and Arsenal don't have right now. They've got the potential for that. They haven't got the proof of that, and that's the difference between them 3 teams, I think. I think United and City's first and second.
Yeah.
I think the expectation on Arsenal will be so much bigger this year that they won't be able to phone it in the rest of the competitions, and that's going to take a couple of percentage points off their performance in the league. Only a couple.
I don't know how much better than last season Arsenal will be. I think Arsenal...
Not a surprise package.
I don't think Arsenal are going to have to deal with being not a surprise package. Obviously, everyone's got more year of film on them. They've got 3 new starting signings to integrate into the philosophy a little bit as well. I think they've got I think they won't be as injury free as they were last season as well. I think
Havertz is a stupid signing.
I think Gabriel Jesus is already injured for the first part of the season as well.
Rice being asked to do a role that he's not necessarily familiar with, which I think he'll probably be all right in, but he's going to take a second to get there, I think. I wouldn't expect him to hit the ground running and people be purring about him.
Yeah, I know. But I think, you said you think United second.
Brian Casey said Arsenal aren't getting top 4. I think they're a lock-in for top 4.
I predicted it could be City. I thought it'd be possibly City.
Theo says it's top 5 for Champions League, not top 4. Wait, since when?
Yeah, shit.
Is that what the new rule next year? No, it's not 5.
I think it's confirmed. It's been confirmed.
Fuck off. What sort of fucking utter rhubarb's this, man?
Damn. But anyway, what I was saying was I think City first, and I think it'd be Liverpool, United and Arsenal will be battling them out, but I thought Liverpool might skyrocket to finish in second.
No, I can see Liverpool third with Arsenal 4. That's what I think.
So you don't think outside top 4 for Arsenal?
I think that no. I think they'll their fans will lose their shit, right? It probably depends, because it is an influence and it is a factor. It probably depends on how fucking turbo their fans go that they're not going to win the league. When they open a few games and get a draw against Burnley and then fucking 1-0 against Luton,
and then they massively overreact and then the pressure mounts.
Yeah, I think that matters. I think, and then they get a Champions League group which is a bit tasty. It's like a Juventus in there or something, and they get rolled at home, and you're like, oh, what's going on? Oh, we're not the Messiah. Because
they didn't have that last season. It's the same. That's what could make Chelsea dangerous this season, though, is the fact that you don't have any European football. It's 4 weeks of training and playing on a Saturday in the Premier League every week and week out, and we saw what happened the last time they had that. Didn't the last time that happened? They won the league. Under Conte.
With 94 points, I think, wasn't it?
Do you know what I mean? You can't.
I know that.
Without these midweeks.
Oh, it's massive. It's massive. So you come in, right? You play on a Saturday. You have your recovery session Sunday. If you've got a European away, Monday you're dealing with fucking set plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach, right? Tuesday you travel, you do a little run out on the pitch. Wednesday you play. Thursday's recovery. Friday you might look at tactics for dealing with Sheffield United on the Saturday, which levels the playing field between you and Sheffield United, who've just been working on drills for you all day long. Now, what Chelsea are going to have is they don't have to deal with Borussia Mönchengladbach's fucking corner routine. They come in and they go, all right, we're playing Sheffield United at weekend. Okay, here's how they attack. Here's what they're like on the transition. That's Monday, Tuesday sorted. Wednesday, we're going to do a little bit of a fun session, 11v11, so we still get that 90 minutes in us. But with a bit of a focus, maybe we get a couple of... they got 2 big centre-halves, have they? Let's get them 2 big idiots from the youth team. Okay, put them 2 centre-half. Bosh, here we go. So I want you lot to play like Sheffield United. So you have a little bit of a look at Sheffield United. Thursday, you're dealing with your set plays. Friday, you have a nice fun session because you've had so much more contact time on the training pitch. Then you go Sheffield United on the Saturday and fucking batter them.
Nah, it depends. It depends if Poch. Obviously, Poch is a managerial upgrade on what they had as well. But
when's the first Arteta out shout?
Not
the jokey ones, because there'll be jokey ones if they're not winning after the first 5 minutes. We'll City do 52%. Yes.
I give it till November before the Arteta out shouts come across.
For real ones.
Yeah, the real ones.
You can't have one in September or
when they start selling shirts. I'm watching that. Wait, so the order. So you're saying that the order of the top 6. You're saying is you're thinking United. You think City, United, Liverpool, Arsenal, 5th who?
Who's your candidates for 5th?
Because there's someone you've not mentioned. Spurs. Like where?
I think
where
Spurs,
the Tottenham?
1,000,000% rests on the decision of Harry Kane. 1,000,000%. If they've got Harry Kane, they can come 5th. And they might not come 5th, but they certainly can come 5th.
We've not mentioned Newcastle either. So Tottenham and Newcastle are the 2 kind of...
Yeah, and Chelsea.
We've mentioned Chelsea though, but we haven't...
Yeah, so you got Chelsea, Spurs, Newcastle potentially going for that 5th Champions League spot, which I only found out about 14 seconds
ago. Newcastle have added they've added Tonali, which is a bit of a Galactical signing for them, and Harvey Barnes they've added as well.
I don't think that's a good signing.
They've sold St. Maximin. Yeah. They've just signed Livramento, which is a really good signing actually. Young right back. He can play left back. He's another one of the Chelsea academy products that they loaned. They loaned him to Southampton with Broa, Armando Broa. They both did really well, and Livramento got injured, but I think then he sold him. But now he's at Newcastle. That's actually a really good signing, I think.
I think Brighton with Europa League struggle. I think they come 8th. I think 5th, 6th, 7th is
Villa.
No, I think they're still below. I think
Aston Villa are top.
No, they could overtake Spurs.
Aston Villa have got I think Aston Villa's squad's serious.
Right, okay, so City, United.
Yeah.
Liverpool 3rd, Arsenal 4th, Chelsea 5th.
But as a surprise package, though, would you not want to go through Villa's squad and see how good it is? Because
did they make Europe? Are they in conference?
They'll be in Europa League because they've got obviously Martinez in goal, but the back 4 now is like they don't have they've replaced Tyrone Mings with Pau Torres. That's a crazy upgrade. So
Mings might be the worst centre half I've ever seen.
Right back Matty Cash. What is it? Konsa, Torres, and you got maybe is it Dino. Left back, I think they've got another left back as well, and you've got a midfield where they can put Douglas Luiz, McGinn, Tielemans, Jacob Ramsey. That's strong. Then you've got like attacking players like they've got that Duran, what they've signed, a young I think the young American or young Canadian centre forward. They've got Leon Bailey on the wing. They've got Ollie Watkins. Do you still have Danny Ings?
Don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
Villa are in the conference, apparently, in comments there. Look, Villa have got decent, but they got Europe as well to deal with, which they didn't have. So, I think, let's presume Harry Kane's gone, because I think that really rockets Spurs' chances, because they finished 8th last year. So I think losing Kane on top of that, they get no better than that this year. So 5th Chelsea. I think Newcastle 6th.
Yeah, I was going to say Diaby. They've just signed Moussa Diaby as well from Leverkusen. That's strong.
So Chelsea 5th, Newcastle 6th, Villa 7th, which means that they've gone forward but haven't gone forward. Like they've improved and stayed in the exact same space because they're contending with Europe. Like that's actually an achievement. Contending with Europe and staying in the same place is improvement, weirdly. And and then it has to be Tottenham and Brighton and Tottenham, whichever way round that ends up being.
But what we are figuring out is the fact that we remember like Grand Slam Sunday days. You had this distinct top four. It seems like the 4 or 5 teams outside the top four have closed the gap a little bit on the top four. It's made it slightly a little bit more competitive. The fact that you can have these kind of debates, obviously, other than City possibly winning 4 in a row, which makes it seem like it's not very competitive. I think a lot of the teams between like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, it's basically a toss-up because Spurs aren't distinctively better than Villa, I think, especially if they lose Kane.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think they finished below.
And they've got Unai Emery, which a lot of people in the comments are mentioning, which is a major factor as well. Unai Emery.
And that's why I think them not actually progressing forward in the league, but being able to deal with competing in the league and doing it in Europe is commendable. That they won't necessarily go forward, but they will have improved. No,
100%. So if I'm going to put my top 8 now, because I think I've got a better idea in my head, I'm going City, Liverpool, United, Arsenal, and then Chelsea 5th.
Yeah.
But Chelsea will be dangerous though because of the fact they don't have top 4. See, it's difficult.
If someone falls asleep, Arsenal, like if someone falls asleep, hits a couple of weekends of poor results against random opposition, you could see them sneak in.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Chelsea is it's a top 4, but it's like on the fringes.
And if it's 5 Champions League places, your Champions League, I don't think there's much argument in the Champions League positions. Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City.
Yeah. And I think Villa Newcastle just outside it with Villa, and then I think Spurs could. I think
Spurs could end up behind Brighton again.
I don't think so. I think Brighton will have a drop off. I think the top 8.
I'm assuming Kane's gone.
I think Kane will be 8th. I think Spurs will finish 8th.
That puts Brighton 9th. I've got them to the other way around, but otherwise I largely agree. I think you got Brighton and Spurs the wrong way around to me, and Liverpool United.
Because we spoke about this with Brighton, didn't you say it's not this method they've got of selling their best players and then finding unknowns and then just playing.
It's not unlimited. There's a fuck ton of luck involved in what they've done. And the fact that they've not only done it with players but did it with managers and staff as well. Like someone needs to go and check everyone's piss if they keep doing this.
Is it not insane the way their keeper Steele that he brought in to replace Rob Sanchez in January? They just brought a keeper in from League One or something like that, and he just came in and he was like unbelievable in terms of like his distribution and that, and his ball playing. I don't know, their scouting is just different, especially when they kind of attribute it to what they play in their philosophy. They get players that just fit perfectly, and the thing is with Brighton is, he said it'll run out, which maybe is true. They've bought a lot of youngsters.
It is true. It will run out.
They've bought a lot of youngsters.
Not to say it'll happen this season.
Yeah, but they've bought a lot of youngsters at like 19, 20, 18 that are playing that could also improve.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They take risks, and they're also able to take risks. Lee Brennan says, "Are you coming Dublin?" Yes, I am. Ronnie's not. He was meant to be coming, and then he bottled it last week.
Nah, it's not even. I couldn't do it. Like even now, I'm struggling. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how you're.
I had a good sleep last night. Let me just check my week.
I don't know how you're all right.
So I had a total of 8 hours sleep Monday to yesterday. I had a fucking absolute turbo nap on the sofa last night, and then I got 7:25 in last night, Kip. So I feel pretty normal. Like I woke up at like 7:30 this morning. Like it was it was a 3 snoozer to get up, but I woke up and I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Was it? I remember in America you showed me your week. Was you getting like on average 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours?
Yeah, that last week I was getting 3 and 4 hours.
Listen, I don't know. Like, forgive me. I'm apologies that I'm not coming to Dublin. Yeah, but I wouldn't have been able to survive that.
Paddock FC are playing tomorrow.
Especially the ferry journey. No, I couldn't.
3 p.m. tomorrow at Rockford Park in Dublin. It's €5 or free if you're a kid, or if you jump over the wall. And if you want to come watch Paddock play, we're playing in green and gold until the fucking club is sold. And you can come watch us. Come have a bev. And then we're going and getting on a smash in Dublin. So we'll be there nice and early for the game on Sunday. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. We're taking the football team. We're obviously going to be playing on. We're going to watch United. United kick off at 1:45. So we're going to watch United together. Then we're going to go step out. Hopefully, put a decent performance in ourselves. Then we've got. I think we'll have something to eat. Out on the smash. Wake up on Sunday. Jobs are good un. Make our way over to the Aviva. Watch United against Bilbao. Expect it's the kids, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And then we're flying home at like midnight on Sunday. Fucking great weekend.
Yeah, flying home. I'd be boating it home.
Yeah, you would have been boating it home. Yeah, you're right.
Do you know what? There'll be a second. I'm sure you'll go back to Dublin again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, we were supposed to be doing a live show with the footy team. In fact, as a little treat, McCullough's going to be on the bench for Paddock FC tomorrow.
Did you actually
come and check that out?
Did you actually plan to announce that now?
It don't matter, does it? Haven't.
Oh, was that? Because it sounds a bit exclusive, that McCullough.
It's a bit of an exclusive, so there you go. McCullough's going to be on the bench tomorrow. If you're in Dublin, you want to come and see if McCullough can actually play any sort of level of football. He's not bad, you know, Mac. He's not bad. I don't think he wouldn't get anywhere near the team regularly.
No, he's not bad. But he's in terms of like playing like 11 aside at this level, I don't think he's that level.
Get 5-10 minutes, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully the game's won by then, so hopefully he'll be fine.
Do you know what I mean? Depends if his lungs hold up.
Yeah. Oh, Angela Waits in the comments. This is a fucking good one. Biggest flop, right? She reckons Declan Rice, and I think for the money involved, that's got to be a good shout. But I want to know, who is your biggest flop prediction, and also player of the year?
I think the biggest flop prediction will be... I don't think it'll be Declan Rice. I think he'll just be steady, so he won't be classed as a flop.
The money involved is Diaby.
I think the biggest flop will be... I think he's more likely to be Havertz as the biggest flop, in my opinion.
That was who I was going to go for.
I think I'd go Kai Havertz, and if it's not Kai Havertz, I'm going to go for Dominic Alphabet for Liverpool. I can't say so. I can't.
Subalasa.
Yeah.
60 mil. 60 mil's like the old school 15 mil. I'm just trying to scroll through here. Someone Chelsea have signed. I mean, they've signed so fucking many. Nkunku will be good. I think that's not going to be.
I think player of the year will be Thingy again.
It's probably someone Burnley have signed. Burnley have signed some fucking random ass players. As Redmond from Besiktas.
As in player of the year, as in surprise player of the year.
No, like who's player of the year?
It would just be like a City. It'll be a City player. It's just gonna be Haaland or De Bruyne again. Haaland, De Bruyne, or
it's Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes is a shout actually as well. Always, I think Bruno has a chance of, with a striker like Haaland. I think he's got the opportunity for it to be like his best statistical season, which is insane for someone that's a stat monster. But when has Bruno actually played with like an out number 9 that's young and athletic like a Haaland? Because if you do think about it, Bruno gets a lot. Bruno's assist rate is insane when Rashford plays up front.
Yeah.
You know, like when we play in the quite transitional, and sometimes he plays out on the wide, where he's like the first point of transition where you fire into Bruno and he looks up and it's Rashford in behind.
It could be. I think so. I think if you was looking at, all right, let's do it a bit closer, Tom. Who's United's player of the year? Could it be Onana?
I think it'll be Bruno.
I think it could be Onana. I think because of how transformational he's going to be, I think people will over-egg his involvement to the team.
Do you know what's interesting about if Onana was player of the year for United? You'd have quite a few to go to catch the Hayes player of the year for United.
You will. But I think if Onana's player of the year, he will be player of the year for his offensive output rather than his defensive contribution. I think it'll be a bit of both.
Which is an insane statement to say about a goalkeeper.
But do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I think he will just make United hold the possession so much better and start attacks so much better. And if United's possession goes up 4 or 5% this year, it'll be because of that. And that's like, if I couldn't, there's not a player you could sign outside of a keeper that does what Onana does. If I said to you, go and sign any outfield player you want, I want 5% more possession this year, you'd be like, I can't fucking sign a player to do that.
Because obviously you was at the game. We were right there, so it even looked different in person. But like them passes to Rashford from Onana.
I looked at one of them. I made it's a shame I wasn't recording myself because I made a noise, right? I only usually make them noises with Janine. And I made a noise and I went, there is going to be assists from him this year because of how effective Rashford is on a counter and how ineffective De Gea has been as a goalkeeper, finding him like that. Onana hit a couple of them and Rashford didn't quite control them, and I go, shit, I've seen the future here. Rashford's got to get used to those being available. Onana's got to get used to where they're most effective for markers. But when that clicks, because I think it clicks, when that clicks, especially against the team that switched, look at the Everton game last year. Imagine Onana was in there with that. We'd have fucking scored 12 goals.
Yeah, fucking hell.
I don't know why Everton came and decided to try and press United high and just got fucking turned inside out.
I feel like you're seeing that more and more now in the Premier League. I feel like you rarely see teams parking the bus as much.
Getting a little bit more Bundesliga.
As they used to. Apart from when they play City.
Yeah,
everyone that plays City does it. But I think it's a little bit more people are coming out and trying to press and be on the front foot. But you said obviously United played the season, etc. We've mentioned City finishing first, but the fact is they've only signed Kovacic and Gvardiol, and they've lost Gundogan, Mahrez, and still could lose Bernardo Silva.
They haven't got a proper out and out right winger at the minute, have they?
Nope. Bernardo Silva.
Are they even linked with one?
I think they wanted to play Foden in that Gundogan role, but he might play right wing. Yeah. They've got enough players to kind of step in, but I don't know. I looked at it and I thought, Arsenal have signed Timber, Havertz, Rice. They all look like maybe on the verge of signing Raya when Ramsdale was meant to be the best.
It's funny that, isn't it? Ramsdale wasn't human last year at different points, and Thomas Partey was the best DM in the league, and they fucked them both off. It's almost like Arsenal fans don't have a fucking clue what they're looking at, innit?
By
the way, did you see that Zinchenko did an interview with Rio yesterday?
Yeah.
And he was saying Saliba's a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
I thought Rolls Royce was a good car.
I disagree with that. Saliba's a baller, he is.
He's no fucking... even Rio's face is like, really? Rolls Royce?
He's a baller because he plays... I think he might look better because he's next to Gabriel, and Gabriel is not a good player, in my opinion.
Gabriel's shit.
Gabriel is a Brazilian Tyrone Mings with turkey teeth.
If you played, I was going to say a back three of Maguire, Gabriel and Mings, Paddock could beat him.
Nah, we wouldn't.
They'd give us free goal.
No, we wouldn't. Because Gabriel, is just... When I watch him, he's just a bozo. He's a bully. He's rash. He's rough. He's iffy on the ball. I just don't see it.
Him, Mings and Maguire, all three of them are fucking bottom half Premier League or Championship level footballers. Tops.
Listen, he's arse, man.
None of them are playing Champions League. Who are you waving at?
Joe Maguire in the building.
Could I call Gabby Agbonlahor a Wally? I'll call him a Willy. Joe, it's just too obvious. You can't get mad at what Agbonlahor's doing because he's clearly playing a role or a character. If he's serious, then I'm serious and he needs to go and have a fucking MRI scan on his napper. But I don't think he's serious. I think he's on a pure fucking wind-up, and we all, including me, buy it. I'm just going to fucking ignore him now because he's on a wind-up. Fucking tell me that who did he put in? John McGinn over Casemiro? Shut up, mate. I like John McGinn. I think he's a fucking good, tidy player, but he ain't no Casemiro, is it?
Can't be taken.
Did he have Konsa in over Varane? Shut up, you dickhead.
Can't be listening to Agbonlahor. Do you know what I mean? Joe's take on Gabby was...
Joe, what was your take on Agbonlahor?
What was your take on Agbonlahor, Joe?
He's just a fictional character.
The fictional character?
Yeah. Can't really get annoyed at him. But he's also a loser for being willing to play that character.
Have you seen his face on TalkSport? He looks like someone's farted in his near vicinity.
Yeah. Joe said, he said to me on tour as well, he thought Gabby Agbonlahor was one of them people where I tried to defend him saying, he's obviously playing a character, but you said you've got to be weird to play that character.
Well, there's plenty of people doing it, isn't there?
Yeah. But I'm not listening to Gabby Agbonlahor on what he said.
By the way, what's this TNT Sport? Is that a rebranding of BT?
Yeah, it is. Complete rebranding of it.
Just rebrand. So it's on the same channel and that?
The same channel, same thing, same subscription, same everything. They've just changed it to TNT Sports.
Right, because I saw a launch for it and I was like, what the fucking hell is this? I was like, I haven't heard about this.
Have I bought sort of different?
I'm like, what is it? They all look like BT type stuff. Anyway, Brian says Saunders is the only one that talks sense on TalkSport, backing Onana, screaming at Maguire. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think Dean Saunders is going to be mine and Ash's first guest of the season, actually, on whatever the fuck that's called.
I thought it had a name.
It had a working title, didn't it? But it was never given a proper name.
Oh,
Stay Nash on the Smash. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up because fan channel guys are going live in a minute, so check those guys out. I've got a preview coming out in a little bit, so make sure to go and check that one out as well, and I'll see you fuckers in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.